According to therapists, the hardest three words we tend to say, or not say for that matter, is you were right. Think about it. In relationships, often you don't want to admit you were wrong, and to say that you were right is pretty tough. Now imagine this in media and politics. Those three words are hardly said by the media, let alone by politicians. Because God forbid they should be proven wrong and that somebody else should be right, because that would give them credence, rewards, approval, call it whatever you want. That is exactly what's going on with Donald Trump. 6 months into office, the media and other politicians are really having a hard time because they got it really wrong when it comes to Donald Trump. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Rant Network. My name is David Solomon. I am flying solo today. Stuart is away for the day, and we'll be back on Friday. What we do here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon Eastern is we just talk about all the stuff that you want to not talk about. Politics, absurdities in modern life, and so much more. These are our opinions. However, these opinions are also substantiated with fact. We do our research, we do our homework to make sure that we are not quite that other channels that you might be watching or listening to. So sit back today as I really dive into this conversation about they were wrong. Look, I got to tell you, I'm amazed. It's amazing because when someone gets it wrong, and we teach our children, you know, when you're wrong, own it. Accountability. Don't look like a fool. Don't be an idiot. Don't think you're the smartest person necessarily in the room. But apparently, that doesn't make a difference in media and politics. In media and politics, you could say what you want, you could be wrong, and you can't be held. Don't hold me accountable for anything or whatever it is that I say. That's exactly what is happening today. Because 6 months ago, when Donald Trump was back in office, the reaction from the left was doomsday, doomsday, doomsday. Sky is going to fall. It'll be the end of the world. Forget it. He's going to sink us, etc., etc., etc. Remember, it started with Doge. He can't touch those. USAID, don't do this. Da da da. It's going to destroy the country. It didn't. Did you hear anything? Nope. Of course not. Now, fast forward to with tariffs and everything. Now, as a Canadian, I hate the notion of tariffs. It's awfully painful. The amount of tariffs that I'm going to have to deal with as a Canadian, it's going to hurt me. I know that. And it's incumbent on my government to go out and negotiate, just like Japan, Vietnam, the EU, UK, you name it, have gone and done. But of course, the left, the media, the politicians have to say it's doom and gloom. It's going to destroy the economy, recession, inflation. They throw all the words out there hoping something sticks. Did it? According to the last report, July tariff revenue breaks a monthly record of $150 billion collected in 2025. Let me read this. The U.S. collected nearly $28 billion in customs duty in July, the highest monthly total so far in the year. In January, tariff revenues hovered around 7.9 and more than doubled in 16.3. The Treasury, according to Secretary Bessent, has previously said the administration predicts tariffs may generate as much as $300 billion in new revenues. And as a result, Mr. Trump floated the idea of maybe setting $600 per person of checks to each individual under a certain income level. Now, some would like to pay down the debt, which makes a heck of a lot of sense. But think about it, there's a surplus. Yes, prices are marginally impacted, but I use the word marginally, not the way the left, the media, and everyone else had predicted. But where are you hearing the doom? Where are you hearing the "we got it wrong" statement? You see, MSNBC, CNN, and all these have decided to bring in sports people. Pablo Torre from ESPN, Stephen A. Smith from ESPN are suddenly these political experts. They know they're sports, sure, but they're political experts. And they both predicted doom and gloom. And there's nothing like an MSNBC doom and gloom prediction. Nothing like it. It's as if the world is collapsing. The sky is going to fall. We're dead. We're devastated. We're doomed. Every pundit they bring on makes a worse and worse statement on Donald J. Trump. But how many do you think are going to be paraded on MSNBC who are going to go, nope, we got it wrong? It took someone like Bill Maher, who admitted on a podcast he got it wrong. And he says, I gotta own it because, quote, the economy is thriving. Listen to that. Yes, he spoke on the Club Rundum podcast, and he just said, he figured by July the 4th, the economy was going to go to the crap house, and it didn't. And he goes, it didn't happen. He says, it could happen tomorrow. I'm just saying that's reality. So let's work first from the reality of that, not from, quote, I just hate Donald Trump, because that's boring and doesn't get us anywhere and leads you to dishonesty. Leads you to dishonesty. Yes, the hate for Donald Trump is immense. Consequently, we're going to do and say whatever it is, the doom and gloom. He added that the truth is, I don't know what his strategy is, but look, the stock market's at record highs. I also drive around. I don't see a country in a depression at all. I see people just out there living their lives. I would have thought, and I've got to own it, that these tariffs were going to bleep and sink this economy by this time, and they didn't. How do we deal with that fact? Because that's the fact. Someone who admits he was wrong. And what do you think is happening to poor Bill Maher? You think people like what he said? Of course not. Because he broke the code. Thou shalt not admit you were wrong. Pundits right now on CNN and MSNBC are absolutely appalled by the ratings that are going towards Donald Trump. His approval ratings on the economy, the way he's handling the border, way, way ahead of the Democrats. I'll get back to the Democrats in a second. But it's driving them nuts. They want to destroy Donald Trump, and they can't. The more they try, the less they succeed. But let's go on about wrong predictions. Let's talk about one Vermont Senator, Bernie Sanders, the Jew hater, the man who thinks he knows everything, the staunch socialist who's propping up Zohar Mamdani as the next great savior of the United States of America. Shows you where his mindset is. And when the United States attacked Iran, his reaction was that Trump it was beyond being an idiot, and he was about to cause World War III and disrupting the Middle East. And he had one prediction of doom and gloom that it will cause such chaos in the Middle East, it's going to be unimaginable. How are we doing there, Bernie? How's the Middle East right now? Iran, I would say chopped at the knees right now. I won't say they're dead, but they've been chopped at the knees. Pretty good, no? Yeah, there are problems in Syria. Yes, there's a problem in issues with Gaza. Yes, there are lies emitting about starvation in Gaza. Total lies. This is the fabrication. The United Nations is not doing its job. But the doom and gloom that you predicted, Bernie, didn't happen. Of course not, because you know nothing about foreign affairs. But you decided, and the media supported you, that you knew what you were talking about. That this attack by the United States was going to cause unimaginable damage. How are we doing, Bernie? Middle East is nowhere near what you predicted. But let me throw something up against the wall, and if it doesn't stick, I'll try something else. Because that, ladies and gentlemen, is the way it works. Now, I'm talking about the Democrats, and the Republicans have been no better historically. But let's get with the program, okay, everybody? Can we stop with this BS rhetoric? They got it right. Donald Trump got 6 months right, whether you like it or not. And I know in politics, it's about don't vote for me because I'm good. Don't vote for the other guy because he's bad. Look how bad he is. Look what he's caused. Yesterday, Congressman, Stalwell with his idiot videos about I should be in Congress lowering your costs. You see this on X, and you're like, dude, you've been raising the cost of living. You haven't been lowering it. Facts don't matter apparently, but it's okay. Keep going with those X videos. Here's the reality of it all: the Democratic Party is in an echo chamber. The media keeps saying that they're right. Everything is wonderful. The world is a great place if there were because of the Democrats. And the Republicans are just, wacky doodle. They're crazy. Look what they're doing. They're going to destroy the country and so on and so forth. And so as a result, the Democrats and the media continue to voice off of each other these wonderful statements. All is, as long as the Democrats are in power, the world is a safe place. Doesn't matter who it is, from a moderate to Mamdani. It doesn't make a difference. Put a Democrat in place, everything is good. And that's what you hear in this echo chamber. So whatever Donald Trump does and whatever the Republicans do, whether it's Marco Rubio or whether it's Kristi Noem or whatever, it has to be bad. It's not working. It's not sticking. The American people, after 6 months, continue to support the Trump administration, regardless of what you want to believe. The polls have shown it. It's rare to find a poll, unless you're going to call all, like socialist lefties. It's rare to find a poll that says that Donald Trump isn't having a good approval rating. Yeah, there are days and there are moments where things are better and worse and what have you. But let's take a look at what he did. And I talked about it before. Japan signed a great deal. UK, EU, massive deals. All these deals favor the United States. Donald Trump wanted to make America great again. He wanted to bring it to be an even better superpower. The world owes the United States a major thank you for being the world's policeman, for protecting all of these countries, for helping and propping them up economically, and he wanted it as a big thank you. And he got it. And he was tired. He fought NATO. He won. He's fought other countries. He's won. What does it tell you? And maybe it's time to change a little bit of the policies. Even the Bushes, even the Republicans hate Donald Trump. There's no doubt, because he's broken the mold. He's broken the mold. He's done more in 6 months than most presidents do in 2 terms. He's broken the mold. And it ruffles a lot of feathers, a lot of people who've been there for a long time. And yeah, he will have his piss war with a bunch of Republicans, and he doesn't care. Because as the president of the United States, as supposedly the most powerful person in the world, people are trying to disrupt him, from judges to politicians to the media and beyond. And yet he keeps going on. He keeps winning. And it's driving everybody nuts. So what does it tell you? Really simple, ladies and gentlemen. What it tells you is that when you watch the CNNs and the MSNBCs and you want to be in your echo chamber and you just want to hear what you want to hear, go listen to them. They've misled you. Because for 6 months, they've told people, don't. The world is a shaky place. There's no confidence. Recession coming. Don't invest capital in capex. Don't invest in your businesses because it's catastrophic future. They hurt your business. They hurt your bottom line because they lied to you for political and for agenda purposes. They didn't help you. They hurt you. That is what they've done. And you think they're going to admit that they were wrong? Hell no. Watch the reactions on live television. Banging their heads on the table, scratching their heads, swearing on television. Because they got it wrong and they won't admit it. Because they want to hurt Donald Trump. That the shot he got in his ear wasn't enough. They want to take him down. That's their goal. So, folks, let me put it to you this way. I'm not sitting here today telling you go watch, Fox News. I'm not here to tell you to go watch anything. I'm telling you to do your homework. Because when it came to tariffs, people didn't understand it. They let the media explain it in such a way that it was just awful and it didn't make sense, especially if you were on the left, especially if you were a Democratic lover. All you heard was doom and gloom, not, oh my God, there is an opportunity. All you heard was don't invest, don't buy, don't this because holy crap. This is what you're getting, folks. So what you got to do your homework. Research online, figure it out, speak to people who know what they're talking about because the media pretends. And like I said, if you're going to bring in a sports analyst to tell you about world economics and this, what really, this is who you want to listen to? Because Stephen A. Smith, the Democrats have talked about making him the candidate for 2028. They made fun of Reagan as an actor being the president. Now you want a sports commentator as your president because he knows better? I don't know about you people, but just remember the hardest three words. You were right. That's it from now, everybody. I'm wishing you a wonderful rest of the week. We're past the hump day. We're into Friday. Be back on Friday, noon Eastern, with another rant. Stuart will be back by then. Please, folks, share us, like us, all that. Tell your friends all about the Rant Network, and we look